extremely disturbing visuals of how physically challenged athletes of the country are being treated at the National Para-Athletic Championships, which are ending today. More than 700 differently able athletes are being forced to stay at a partially constructed building in Ghaziabad, adjacent to the national capital. The accommodation for the three-day meet were unfurnished and lacked even basic functional toilets and drinking water. The athletes had to sleep on the floor and go out in the open to defecate. The championship, organized by Paralympic Committee of India, was to conclude today and served as a qualifier for an international event for para-athletes to be held in Delhi later this year. My colleague Pankaj Upadhyay is now in fact joining me for more on this story from Ghaziabad at this facility itself. Pankaj, over to you. We have been highlighting this time and again. This is what we give in return to these special athletes, those who have been going across against every odd and making sure that the national flag flies high, and this is how we repay them.
That's right, Ankit. A lot of allegations have been put in by these players. Now, let me give you a reality check. First of all, it took me good 45 minutes to reach up to this place from the highway, because this is around 5 kilometers, but then there is no Pakka road around. Secondly, now this is a under construction private school building. My camera person will show you this under construction building where these players have been forced to stay. Now there are around 600 players that were supposed to come in, but the organizers say that twice the number came in here. Now, who is responsible for it? Who was the organizer? How did this mistake happen? Where were the details? There is no clue about that. Now, I have got two players with me, and one happens to be a proud medal winner as well in the javelin throw. Tell me, first of all, the kind of problems that you went through here. Recount the problems.
Accommodation, food, ramp,
food problem. How was the food like?
Small.
Very food was good?
Worst.
How was the food?
Buri, chawal.
Did you like the food?
Yes. Light.
Buri.
Only only buri. Other rights, other stall, no.
Okay, now have a look at the flooring out here. Have a look at the ground out here. There was no facilities that these players are saying were provided, and the most important thing, the ramp, which has become a big issue out here for these wheelchair-bound players. Now, this is the wooden plank that has been placed in these stairs where these wheelchair-bound players are expected to move. I'll try and ask this player, can you try and move up to this ramp and show us what kind of difficulty that you have? How much can you move in this ramp? Show us. Now, this is this is live that you're seeing. How much can you move? Show us. How much can you really move?
Try.
Just try. How much can you move after all? We would like to see. After all, this is what is happening here. And why? Where is the problem? There is no volunteer around. There is no help around. We asked the organizers, where are the volunteers? So the organizers say that it is a rule that every especially able player has to get his own help. Now, at this point of time, we do not know whether the rule book says that or no, but then the volunteers say that these players should have got a member from their own family to help them out. But where are the volunteers? Here, none of them that we could really see around. No one is ready to take the blame. And shocking as it may sound, that the female athletes had to say that they had to go out in the open to defecate. There are no toilets around. There's no water. And since, as you would see, this is the under construction building, there are no windows around.
Pankaj, stay on with me. Pankaj, stay on with me. I'll keep coming back to you. We also have our first caller on the program. Alok is calling from Thane in Maharashtra. Alok, please go ahead. As you saw my colleague Pankaj Upadhyay there reporting live on the lack of facilities, or I should say absolutely no facilities for these specially able athletes. What do you have to say about the apathy that the government and the organizers have shown?
Oh, the apathy is quite clear and visual. I am a retired army officer. In a country, we just don't blame and punish anybody. From the disaster of the 62 war, till the Kasab case, till the latest train accident, just nobody gets punished. In this also, nobody will get punished. And it's not a question of correcting it. It's a question of how do people who do things like this come to the position where they can do things like this, Let's not do a first level correction, then let's correct it from tomorrow. How do people who are such apathetic and indifferent
Yes.
get to positions where they can take these decisions? Unless somebody is hanged by the nearest lamppost, it seems to be quite a bit of a waste of time.
Thank you so much, Alok, for bringing those views and very pertinent point that you have made. How are the people, those who are responsible, the organizers, who have put them in this position of power when they cannot even organize a small single event? Let me quickly put that question to Mr. Rajesh Tomar. He is the president of the Paralympic Committee of India. Sir, you heard how angry people are. They are questioning your organization. How come you could organize this event and could not ensure that these athletes got even the basic facilities?
You see, I understand, everybody is concerned about the issue, and we are saddened about the whole incident, what has happened. There are 17 federations working under the Paralympic Committee. We supervise all of them, and just federation is approximately 1 year old, which has come into existence, and all events are mandatory to conduct, before a major championships. So we conduct trials also, we have to do everything, but you tell me, where are the funds? It's mandatory, I know, but where are the funds? Who's going to do it?
No, but if you
Nobody
don't have
comes
funds,
forward
then
for
why
this
are you
funding.
organizing such events? Just to humiliate these athletes? If you don't have funds, then why don't you tell the government that you are in no position to organize these events? Rather than putting these athletes with
it is
such
not the government.
difficulty.
It is not the government who tells us. Excuse me. Neither the government tells us to conduct these events. It is a requirement of the international bodies that the athlete must do. And similarly, we follow the same procedure. We
So
have
where do
written
you
to the
get your
state
funds from?
governments
So
at
where do you
state
get your funds
association.
from?
Nowhere. There are no funds at all. Tell me, that is the issue. Now everybody can talk, but nobody realizes from where the funding is going to come from. Government pays for the boarding and lodging during the coaching camps, for the air tickets, for the training, everything, but not for organizing these competitions
So
at all.
if you don't have
Every
funds,
federation is supposed to
if
do
you
it.
don't have funds,
listen
Mr.
to me,
Tomar,
the
then why
federation is
don't you
supposed to do
scrap
the
this
event.
organization, which is absolutely useless? If you cannot arrange for funds, then why is the organization, why is your committee working, sir?
They get a trip.
No, committee is working on various. This is not the only athletics. There are many. Powerlifting you never covered. At least, the conditions are bad here. At least you have come forward to look at it. I'm glad the media has taken up this issue and bring it on this platform. I think many people must be watching this. It's a very pathetic state. And this is not the way we wanted to come. We brought medals, but nobody covered the athletes. Where was the media when 33 medals came? Nobody was around. But for this kind of situation, everybody will come.
Sunita
They'll try to
Godara,
pull you down.
a
Whatever has been done has been
operating
unfolded.
procedure
And why you are
of these
saying you
organizations.
excuse me.
Whenever a question is asked, whenever something of this sort is done, they just pass the buck. They will tell us we don't have funds. The media did not cover us. Why do you organize these
See,
things?
first of all, if you have taken the responsibility, then it is your responsibility to get the funds also. Because once you know that you don't have,
don't tell me what is the responsibility.
if you don't have,
we know the responsibility
those
very
who are
well.
private
We know the
bodies,
responsibilities very well.
they raise
We are
their
doing
funds
the
themselves.
responsibility.
How
Okay?
BCCI is raising fund? If you are a private body, if the government is not helping, then you have to raise funds. And no excuse. If you can't raise funds.
BCCI, now you are appreciating BCCI for the funds.
No,
now
what
you are
I'm
appreciating
saying.
BCCI for the fund. Sometimes you blame BCCI
Yes,
for
I'm blaming BCCI because that's government policy fault. In government policy, it is C category game and they are giving all the subsidies to cricket. So that is very bad. But at least we can learn marketing from cricket.
You have been an athlete.
Yes. And I have done everything on my own. I arrange for my tickets. I arrange for my international tournaments. So it means government does not give to anyone. But why then federations? Why federations? Just to get the trips. You tell me, whenever there is a international tournament, how many officials are getting the grant in aid for that air ticket? Why can't government see to it that
None.
Well, we'll continue with this debate. Both of you have very important points that you are discussing, but there is another caller that we have on line. And sir, please go ahead.
This is the height of callousness and shamefulness, because what we are seeing is they're not even ramps. These are 70 degrees life-threatening slopes. Now, who will be responsible if some mishap occurs there? I think the basic issue here is the lack of accessibility and the attitudinal barriers against persons with disabilities. Also, this is not the first complaint against the PCI. Here, the gentleman is repeatedly talking about that there are no funds. Last year itself, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, they have got enough funds. He is sitting in front of a banner which states the name of the secretary. Of course, the name is Sudhir Kakkad has already resigned from that particular post. But there is enough funding. There is an international obligation by UNCRPT. He is talking about international obligation. So it is mandatory to change all our policies.
Right. Let me very quickly go across to our next caller. Mr. A.B. Sumai is a former goalkeeper of the Indian hockey team. Sir, you have been an athlete yourself. You have been a sportsperson yourself. How much pain does it cause when you see such visuals on national television and such callousness by the authorities?
Yeah, definitely. I'm saying that if the association guy is saying that he can't raise the fund and the government doesn't support, we don't support that his talks at all. If you see that now we've been players, we have been an administrator, we have been the coaches of the Indian team. Now we have been the administrator of hockey in Hockey Karnataka, and moreover we already involved with Hockey India. But if you see that, if you are not able to generate the enough fund to fund this, and if you not have a capacity to organize good nationals or an all India championship, please don't host it. Don't make the athletes to suffer. If you can give a good accommodation, good toilet facilities or whatever in a very hygienic condition, please don't stay there for just holding a position of secretary or a president for a namesake, and don't do it. Don't make athletes to suffer, because we have been everywhere we have come through. We as the players, we come through the administration. We know how much hard work we have to put if we want to give a good accommodation for our players to perform at the top level. We have to make all the atmosphere for them to perform well in the top level. Don't just be there just to accompany them in the international thing. When they win the medal, just have a photo shoot with them or get a Dronacharya award. For that, you don't be there. Please, if you can't handle, just leave it. Somebody else will.
Very important, pertinent point you are making there, sir. I will take it to Mr. Tomar, but before that, Mr. Tomar, I will come to you. Before that, we are just tossing to a reaction that we have got from the manager of your one of these organizers.
सर, इनके सभी के साथ एक हेल्पर इनकी साइड से आता है और एक वॉलंटियर ऑर्गेनाइज साइड से दिया गया था. इस वजह से ये रैंप बनाया गया. और ये बताइए, आने से पहले यहाँ रैंप नहीं था, ये टेम्परेरी रैंप बनाया गया है इन्हीं की सुविधा के लिए. नहीं थे सर. ये बताइए, 500 प्लेयर का इंतजाम, 1240 आदमी आ जाएं, उससे एक साथ टॉयलेट में यूज करेंगे तो कैसे सुविधा हो जाएगी? आप खाने को जाकर चेक कर सकते हैं. अभी भी खाना रेडी है. आप अभी भी खाने को जाकर चेक कर सकते हैं. अगर शाम का खाना, दोपहर का खाना शाम को दिया गया हो तो हम आगे चैंपियनशिप कराने छोड़ दें कोई भी.
Mr. Tomar, let me now take this to you. A former athlete, a former hockey player was also saying that, sir, the committee, your organization is there to make sure that there are enough funds. There is all these events are done smoothly. If you are not able to do that, shouldn't you be resigning, sir?
I'll respond to the gentleman who claimed that he's a hockey player, whatever it is. He's talking about Hockey India. How many years has hockey been played? I think it has been played for more than 60, 70 years. Now we are talking about Paralympic body, which is just even 1 year old. People don't even know what is the classification. We are more into policy at the moment, and they are not cooperating on this issue. The main issue in athletics, let us say, is an event where there are only 48 events. But in Paralympic, there are 170 events. Athletes have to be classified. There are no classifiers in India. Nobody wants to listen to that. He's talking about his own glory. Official, tell me which official of PCI has won a medal around his neck? Who has accompanied? No official has accompanied anybody. I'm telling you right now. We are not allowed even a single official of PCI to accompany the team, whereas as far as these Commonwealth Games are concerned, everybody is a coach, and
but do you think that the kind of facility that you are providing to these athletes, the kind of facilities that you are providing to these athletes, it's enough for them to go on an international level and win you medals, sir?
No, I'm saying you are not seeing. We are 1 year old, and the last Para-Asian Games, the medal were only 14. Now this time is 33. We are going to work hard on this. Look at
so is this your achievement or the achievement of the para-athletes, those who have defied all odds to win these medals? Because the kind of facilities that you're providing, it doesn't seem there is any support from your side that they come out and win these medals. I'll come back to you on this. There is another caller who wants to come in and share his views on headlines.
No, either you take the caller or you take my call. You know, you're not even letting me respond. You don't want to be responding to this.
It just seems that, sir, you're going on with a bunch of excuses.
It's quite disturbing to see the visuals on the TV on a channel like yours. And it's really painful. Perhaps no kith and kin of officials or the ministry concerned are participating in this event. That eventually led to this kind of carelessness on the part of the officials. Second thing is, I would request your channel to probe the expenditure that has incurred in this particular event that went on, so that we learn from the organizing committee that how much money has been spent with these kind of facilities.
Right.
Please take it very seriously.
Okay, Sunita, you know, we have heard a lot of excuses about, you know, and so Mr. Tomar there also saying that we are just 1 year old, we have now won 33 medals. It just seems that all these medals have come despite the organizational support. It just seems it's come with their own grit, with their own determination.
Yes.
If the kind of facilities that have been providing.
And secondly, if they want to do nationals, why can't they do it in Delhi? Why do they have a rule of state will organize? When a state doesn't have anything, then why not do it in these white elephant? So many stadiums are there, but the problem is stadiums are there, but there are no hostels. So in metro cities also the same problem. In India, whenever they have Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, what they do, they make players building, they make Asian Village, Commonwealth Village, and after the tournament, they just dispose it off. So the sportsmen always dying for a good accommodation
for facilities.
Everywhere.
Mr. Tomar, now, you know, we have debated a lot about the facilities. You have a long list of why you could not provide, you had lack of funds, you are just 1 year old. So now my straight question to you is there some action that you are going to take? Are you now looking into this matter, or it will again be just a hogwash till the time the media forgets about the story?
You see, a very opening sentence I said is very unfortunate which has happened. I have a great passion for athletics. It is not easy to organize these kind of events, I do understand. There are various excuses if I want to make. I am not making any excuses. I am taking responsibility myself that we are sure that we are going to make improvement into this kind of an event. And there is a gentleman who was talking about hockey, comparing Hockey India with this discipline. Hockey India has 30 crore budget. Paralympic has only 2 crore budget, and which has also, you know, 2
Sir,
crore
what
budget
action are we going to see against the organizers? Sir, what action are we going to see against the organizers?
Listen to me. The second gentleman who came with a question was, don't give the funds. There was not even a rupee given to this organization to do this national championship. The organizers say that we can't conduct this championship because we don't have any sponsor. We are not covered under CSR, because CSR is a thing where you can only be giving donations or whatever it is.
So basically again you are giving me excuses for not acting against the organizers, sir?
No, I am not giving. I am not favoring the organizers. I am not favoring at all. But it was poorly organized. I am still saying it, and it should be improved. And like Sunita mentioned it earlier, the infrastructure is the basic issue for us. There has been no complaints in the past as far as the other events is concerned. The previous event which happened on 14th and 15th September, no television covered it.
Okay.
Could you tell me the reason why?
Very quickly, we have one more caller who is waiting to express their views. Doctor, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. Actually, I have a concern for all this. Differently abled people, because these abled people who are occupying these high places are a shame on this country, because generating funds is not a problem. It is the mindset, professionalism, and concern for these people and athletes which is required. And these people who occupy at the high places, they have funds for their personal things, but they don't have funds for their own professional things.
That's the overwhelming sense that every caller here on Headlines Today has expressed. Shame on the conditions that these athletes were housed into. Jagjit Singh, former Arjuna awardee athlete, of course, he also expressed his anguish, and this is what he had to say.
हमारे मेरे 2 ओलंपिक है, जैसे एशियन गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हमारे भी कैंप नहीं है, जो अभी रियो ओलंपिक के लिए 4 साल से कैंप लगे हुए हैं एबल बॉडीज के। पैरा स्पोर्ट्स के कैंप क्यों नहीं दिए जाते हैं? 25 दिन का कैंप लगा हमारा साउथ कोरिया पैरा एशियन टीम के लिए, हम कहाँ से मेडल लाएंगे? कैंप में जो पैरा स्पोर्ट्स को सब एबल बॉडी से बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंट सारी चाहिए, व्हील चेयर है और भी है, जैसे वेट ट्रेनिंग है, कोचेस है, उनको भी उसके साथ ज़्यादा शारीरिक जो ट्रेनिंग है उससे ज़्यादा मेंटली भी उनको ज़्यादा प्रिपेयर किया जाता है, मेंटली समझाया जाता है, तो जाके पैरा स्पोर्ट्स आगे बढ़ता है खिलाड़ी।
You heard it from the people, those who actually have done it on the international forum, coming out, expressing their problem, expressing their anguish. I'm completely out of time on this. Thank you so much, Sunita Godara and Mr. Tomar there for taking time out and speaking to us. Here's hoping that the long list of excuses will shorten, and after this event, this incident, I would call it, there would be some changes that we are going to see in the next event that these athletes go into.